Everybody, Donald ICO P3 Tech Consulting, that full crew. We're here at the Pick4 Developer Summit with
Ramon, Roche. I'm the GM of Drone Code Foundation. Thanks for being here, Don.
Yeah, absolutely. So incredible effort. And I'll tell you, this is my first time being at this summit. And as I walked away yesterday, the first opportunity I had to come, thinking this is global, Ramon. I mean, there are people I met that took a 16-hour flight to get here.
They got here basically hours before the summit started. And they were speaking at the summit. Like, that's how important it is for them. And before we jump into the summit, I want to talk to you about something I have not talked to you about. That you won the Airworks Industry Impactor Award for this year. And did you know that I won it last year?
I did know that.
We actually never talked about that. Yes.
I know.
Successful people in the industry. Look at us.
So funny. So for those that don't know, Ramon, can you just very briefly explain what this summit is all about, why you created it?
Yes, so the PX4 Lib Summit is an effort to get together the open source community in the drone industry. And for those of you that don't know what open source is, it's basically code that community created for solving a problem. This community got created 10 years ago, 14 years ago actually, but it only got really officialized into a community and a nonprofit inside Drone Code in 2014. And since then, we were basically working with companies like Intel and Qualcomm back in the day to try to standardize on open source components and making sure the software that we're using for the drone industry was reliable and secure. And, you know, the drone industry, I'm sure you know, Don, it's been through so many stages. And I feel like right now we're seeing this new wave of innovation that is being driven by technology finally.
Yes.
I think this happens in other industries, but in ours, even though, yes, technology moved this forward 10 years ago, we kind of got stalled in there. And right now, this summit is all about celebrating all that innovation that is happening. We just had Mike Plates on stage talking about Drone Up and the wall. We had someone from the Open Source Security Foundation who was Security Council in Washington, D.C., talking to the CIA, to the White House about open source components, how to secure the supply chain so that we are reliant, resilient against attacks from anyone all over the world. So I think it's really important right now to emphasize the fact that the industry got together here. They pulled thousands of technology because we really are passionate about moving things forward, and this is what we're here doing today. So we still have lots of breakout sessions, workshops happening. I want to encourage everyone to go to the event website. You can live stream everything that's happening.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Ramon. This is incredible, and I look forward to the rest of today and the incredible content that's out there.
Yeah, Don, did you like the Drone Light Show?
Oh, so that's a great segue maybe to get our buddy over here from Unify. So yes, it was an incredible drone light show in the skies of Austin, Texas last night. For those that follow me on LinkedIn and on my social media platforms, I posted up a video of essentially like a giant quad, almost like VTOL aircraft that was, just moving in the sky. It was so incredible. Like the city was out in the streets, just in awe.
Yeah, I don't remember the last time a drone surprised me like that. And it's been years, literally years. I guess like 10 years when I started in the industry, I was like, yeah, drones are so cool. And I kind of lost that, I don't know, like Marvel factor. Yep. And last night I just got it back.
It was so
100%.
wow.
Yeah,
totally.
It was a wow factor for me.
Totally wow.
Yeah, so
well, we got a lot of wow people here too, besides you, Ramon. So let's get them in here. Let's throw something at our Unify over here, if you don't mind.
We'll do.
All right. So as we're waiting for him to come on over, Unify.
Lawrence?
Okay, we get Lawrence. All right.
All right, Dr. Lawrence Mayer, I'm leaving.
Dr. Lawrence Mayer.
He's the chairman of the board of the Drone Code Foundation.
He's the chairman of your board, and also, is he involved in Arterion as well?
Yes, he's the CEO of Arterion. He actually is the creator of all the open source projects.
Okay, so just the creator of all the projects. Okay, now next. Okay, come on down.
Thank you, Don.
Thank you so much. This is the level that we have here. Come on, Dr. Lawrence. So great to meet you. So we are getting a big crowd out there. So tell us a little bit about, you are the co-founder. You created a lot of this open source code. Tell us why this is such a passion for you.
That's actually a hard.
I'm sorry, I asked the hard question
Yeah.
first.
I think from it was just happening. It was like just exciting to work on these autonomous robots, on these systems, got drones because I wanted to do computer, and I thought drones were a good hardware put it on. Little did I know, 2008 they were pretty immature at work, and so I went for I think the good part of a decade working on the infrastructure, working on flight controls, working on ground stations. Majority of my time, not computer vision. I did get around to that eventually. I did my PhD in computer vision and robotics, drones, obstacle avoidance, all the things that have today.
Yes.
And it's just it was and is just intrinsically fascinating, and I can't. I'm drawn to.
Well, clearly it's a passion. Huge team here with us, and so as you're listening in the last so far, is there anything that's like a wow factor since you've been here?
I think it's two or three main things that more people than I thought. Like we got more attendance. The rule of thumb in the industry right now is that events are a rough capacity,
Right.
and almost as many people here as in our first summit, which tells me we
Wow.
in
Yeah.
like nominal, not in attendees right now, but in interest.
Yeah.
Thing that I find very interesting of conversations, how grown up they are, relevant they are. It's really cool. The industry, quite a lot of new faces. So I'm actually starting to get questions again that I got like 2000 and what the pitfalls are and what's important. That shows me we have fresh blood.
Yeah.
Really key. Is we got to see a drone light show yesterday night.
Oh my gosh.
That was
Wasn't it
PS4.
amazing?
And it's this thing when you're close to something, you kind of never get to really
Yes.
see the outcome, see the
Yes.
result.
Yes.
I never had been at a drone light show before, and it's actually a lot more impressive than I thought.
Yes, we were talking about that. You know, I've seen them on TV, maybe on YouTube, but to be out in the streets with the crowd, just looking up at the sky and seeing those drones, it was breathtaking. It really was. So awesome. Well, and for everything you're doing, it's community. So thank you so much. So great to meet you.
Yeah, thanks for the chat.
All right, Don, you're doing
All right.
Chad next. Chad AI.
All right. So
Yep.
Chad Sweet, we've got Drew next after this with Mike Blade. So we've got an incredible lineup. So still rolling here. So Modal AI and Chad, you've got an incredible. Let me fix the camera. So no, it's all right. It's there we go. All right. So tell us a little bit about your back. Very interesting.
Yeah, so I was at Qualcomm for 20 years. Qualcomm's the largest company that builds highly integrated, really processors for your smartphone. Entered the actual smartphone a long time in the late 90s and really brought forth 3G and 4G technology and now 5G, of course. And so I led the robotics R&D effort there and had the opportunity to kind of break that out in 2018 into a new company called Modal AI. Kind of carry that flag, flying supercomputer autopilots. And so
Yeah.
really our focus is drones and a good job helping accelerate the market towards achieving.
Have absolutely. I love showing. So maybe we can get an example of your product as we're talking through it. But you did it today, talking about what you're contributing. Why are you actually here at this particular summit? What's the plug-in?
Well, we're big supporters of PX4. We use PX4 across all of our products, and we've actually we've started a new, you might call it a target if you're going to be a developer. We have a new target with our Voxel 2 platform that runs PX4 natively inside of the DSP. And that actually was built off of some work we did with Qualcomm last year called the Qualcomm Flight RB5 5G reference drone. So
yep, that made a big splash, by the way. There was a lot of press on that.
And it's exactly, and so it really pushes the market and the state of the art forward in terms of what kind of computing you can carry on your drone, what kind of computing you can perform at the edge. We're showing a demonstration here live of 5 neural networks running concurrently at like 30 frames per second. Really like a ton of computing, pretty intense. People kind of think you can't do that on this class of processors, but there's like 15 trillion built in to go handle a lot of a bunch of image processing, video. These are flying cameras, and so we integrate well.
And I think you have a look, like maybe show us kind of like, okay, look about like size swap, right? This is what we're talking about. This is what's embedded in hardware, right? In drone hardware. And Chad and I were talking yesterday. Defense Innovation Unit, actually, they when they think of that, they think of drone, think of Blue UAS, but they're a program that actually certifies the components as well to be blue because they're cyber secure, they're approved by DIU to go into drones. And you are one of those folks, right? You are a company, and this product is DIU stamped and approved for GSA, for the GSA list. Is that correct?
Well, it's I suppose it could be actually. This was actually funded with the DIU.
Oh, so it's
DIU
part of your like a joint research.
It's like a contract, yeah.
Yeah.
And so there was actually a previous generation, the Blue Uas Framework 1.0. This is kind of the heart of the computing platform of the Blue Uas Framework 2.0. And yeah, DIU funded a lot of the R&D to go build this and go put it into production. And so we consequently work with a lot of various vendors and a lot of labs and a lot of as well as a lot of various industry OEMs and so forth.
So it's the ultimate dual use product, and military market with DIU, DoD, and which is a large part of the folks that are here. That is awesome. Anything else you want to say, or how can they find more about Modal AI?
Yeah, modalai.com is our main landing page for our website, but we also have docs.modalai.com, code.modalai.com. We're accessible, try to be as open and transparent as possible, and we want to work with you on the platform.
Awesome. Gosh, you're taking a couple of minutes. So great to see you. Yeah. We've got Unify here with us, and the folks that Uvify. UVIFY. Come on down. Okay. He's getting the red out of it because he put on an incredible drone light show. Everybody out there.
Hi, good morning. My name is Rob Sheik. We are a manufacturer and developer for drones. We built called the EFO, which is the world's shipped swarm light show. And we did a performance here for the drone, which was, I'm glad everyone enjoyed.
It was incredible.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
that's all everybody's talking about. I'm serious. I mean, they are.
And our platform's used Super Bowl. It's used by FIFA. It was like the Manchester City Championship league. Basically, I'd say 99% is being done with our platform. We've been a contributing member of the Drone Code Foundation since the beginning. We very much appreciate the community.
Well, and so entertainment is one part of your portfolio, and obviously a very huge one. And when you think about public acceptance of drone technology, a very important one. But you also do a lot of R&D, right? You work with a number of universities on swarm technology. So can you tell us a little bit about that?
Absolutely. So another one of our platforms is called the EFOS. And so the EFOS is, I would say, it's the world's most widely used. We do projects. Most of these use our platform. Large corporate research. I'd say 40 corporations use it. DARPA. So, yeah, platform. Of course, we do our own research and projects that we do, but that's close. But we thought that would be more.
Everybody loves a light telling you. Well, we talked about this yesterday. The form really has a negative connotation, but when you think about the applications for drone swarm technology, putting different sensors on the different drones, or even in a forest, right? Like searching for a lost child, as it can those drones can kind of move out and cover so much more ground. I mean, just the applications I think they're only limited by our own imagination.
Yeah, you're correct. So, I mean, and that's the thing, the perception, I think, is there's some videos that came out that just kind of spooked everyone, it's a kind of fear-mongering.
Well, and commercials. I remember, I think it was a Geico one where everybody's like in the lobby at the end of the day, going to their cars, and they walk to the car, and the drones are like, it's almost like the birds, the Alfred Hitchcock movie.
Absolutely.
But that's not the point. There's so many drones for good uses that can come out of this.
Absolutely. I mean, you can think of some applications for not just for, like, let's say marketing or advertising, which our medium is becoming the go-to choice, because no matter what, cars are stopping, people are looking, everyone's going to look, and that's an advertiser's dream.
Yeah.
But you think of other applications, like, let's say, and it doesn't matter your political view, like, let's say the border or the U.S. There are people
absolutely.
that are dying in the desert.
There are.
And so you just put up a sign, or some refugees, and say other parts of the world, like there's fresh water over there. It's a sign, or you're a backpacker and you're lost, you're mobilist at work.
Yes.
You put that up, like, go that way. So there's just so many applications that are developed, and that's just that. And then with Swarm, we talked a little bit about forestry, or just
precision agriculture.
Absolutely.
All the different sensors that can maybe detect soil moisture, or where on a golf course, even like where you need to water, where you don't, all kind. I mean, just again, I think the applications are endless. So thank you so much for what you do, and for bringing, frankly, you brought a lot of joy to a lot of people last night. And I know that sounds really corny, but it's true. And that really makes a difference. Okay, so thank you.
Thank you. We're grateful to have done it. We're grateful to be part of this event, and we're super thrilled that people had a good time. And we want to give a shout out to Ramon for putting it all together.
We love Ramon.
Thank you so much.
All right, thank
Enjoy
you.
the rest of the show.
All right. Next up, we've got Mike Blades here. Mike is now with Drone Up, and he's doing amazing things. Just gave a keynote this morning, and so I grabbed him and I said, "Hey, Mike, we're doing a random live stream. You need to be on it." So here he is. Welcome, Mike.
Thank you, Don. Good to see you.
Yeah, great to see you again. And so you talked a little bit. I think folks kind of generally know what Drone Up is started as kind of this hub for service providers, and evolved now with this Walmart. Can you give us kind of the quick where we are today and where we think we're going?
Yeah, sure. So, like you said, we did get an investment from Walmart about a year ago, which when I started working with the company. I came in right after that. So, obviously now, although they've invested in us and want us to do all of their, we're their drone subject matter experts.
Right.
Our main purpose right now is to develop their drone delivery ecosystem.
Yes.
So that includes putting drone hubs, where we're probably going to have 10 to 20 drones in each hub at as many as 4,000 to 5,000 Walmarts around the nation.
Wow.
And so, the ultimate goal is to be able to deliver goods from Walmarts up to 10 pounds out to the customers. The distance is not set in stone yet, but if BVLOS, when BVLOS happens, we're going to be ready to be able to deliver several miles out. So if you can imagine like a hub and spoke system from every Walmart in the nation, that infrastructure really gives them sort of an advantage over other companies trying to do the same thing that
Absolutely.
don't have that infrastructure already set. So
Yeah.
our to set up that ecosystem for them, but also our original business model, which was contract services, we want to keep that just because when we have a hub set up, which is basically a little drone airport to
Yeah.
Walmart, we don't have to just keep delivering drones in it. We can put other types of drones in there, and we can do other operations, and the revenue streams that we create from those operations can offset the delivery costs. And so obviously our metric for success from Walmart is driving the cost per delivery down to zero.
Yeah,
as
yeah.
close to zero as possible. But the farther down we can drive that, the better off we are. And we are not limited to Walmart. Walmart said, look, we do good, they do good because they invest in our company, right?
Right,
so
right.
we can take that service and offer it to other clients that aren't direct competitors to Walmart.
Yeah.
But that allows us to even expand our delivery operations more if we need to in the future.
I know, it's incredible. Fun fact, Mike, you might not know this, but about a year and a half, I was out visiting my parents in Las Vegas. And I drove out to a wall where y'all were doing operations, and I got to see them firsthand, and it was so cool. I love, it's all set up. It's an ops center, with the van.
Yeah, that was the proof of concept stuff.
It really was a proof of concept, and even then I knew this is going to work, and I knew it for a whole host of reasons, including Tom, you and I both share Air Force history,
right.
And Tom with his military background. I mean, it was clearly run like a military operation. Yeah, no doubt. It has to be.
Yeah.
It has to be with that discipline, and I knew it was going to be successful. So you were here at this let's call it a niche. It's a niche conference.
Right.
You kind of gave a call out to this open source community. Why are you here, Mike? What are you looking for? What is the drone community writ large? Because I know part of what Drone Up is doing now is, trying to lead turn, what is happening in the drone industry.
Right.
What's the call to the open source community? What do we still need as a drone industry?
Well, the Ramon and Mike asked me to come here. So look, we need a lot of folks are going to be talking about coding and stuff that I don't understand.
Me either.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm here and I'm like, there's
way smarter than me.
Good swag, by the way.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good
I
swag
gotta
here.
check it out.
I think it's the best.
I've only been here since last
Go
night,
upstairs. Lots of socks.
Okay. I like socks. So right now we are using PX4 and Pixhawk for our autopilot and our drones. Now we could change that, but the reason we like the open source is because obviously you have a bunch of developers working on it all the time.
Yeah.
We don't have to employ a bunch of software engineers to do these things for us.
Right.
And the advantage of PX4 as opposed to it's other open sources that while the update improvements in the code is given back to the community, there is opportunity to do customizations.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
But the open source portion of that is because we don't have to wait on our software development team to do this or that. It's already done out there. So
yeah.
But the thing that we have, it's a challenge, is that no company that exists has ever tried to achieve the scale that we're going to be operating at.
Yeah.
I mean, the most drones I know of that are flying out there in one operation, maybe the only one I can think of maybe is Komatsu in Japan using drones for construction. But
I was going to say, even on the military side, Mike, right?
Yeah,
like seriously, we're not flying like,
well, even
20 at a time.
The Department of Interior that had a whole bunch, but they had to shut them down because they were all
DJ.
Yeah.
But were they really flying them? I mean,
no, yeah, you're right.
You know what I'm
They
saying?
had the fleet, but they
this is what I'm saying.
But so we have to approach everything from scale. And so my goal here was to let the community know, look, we need support on the code side and on the autopilot side that allows us to scale to the largest scale that has been attempted today, that allows us to be flexible so that we can be somewhat drone agnostic. I mean, we're really concentrating is providing that software, the end-to-end software, so that you can plug in whatever drone. I mean, the software is what really runs the show, is in that we need to be able to do things autonomously because that's where the cost efficiency, cost savings are.
Absolutely.
But the code needs to be, like I said in the talk, it needs to be scalable, it needs to be flexible, and flexible means we need to be able to have the autopilot that is functional for not just a multi-rotor. It needs to be functional for a helo,
Plug and play for everything.
or multi-rotor, whatever we need.
Yeah.
And even ground robots, we may need those in the future.
Oh, absolutely, you will.
So flexible, and then the third thing I asked for was security, and to me that's almost number one because I think there's a lot of overlooking of how secure we're going to need these because they're basically flying computers, right? So you don't want someone to be able to take that flying computer and fly it the way they want to. I want to have it secure so that if someone attempts that, the drone knows, nope, someone's messing with me. I land right here or whatever, so that the threat is done at that point.
Absolutely.
So we need code that can be secure. It's secureable, whether that's an API. Again, I'm not a coder, but some way we need that to be a secure solution running our drones, powering the drones. And the last thing was the testing, and this is the one that I wasn't very familiar with because I don't get into coding like we just talked about.
Right.
But our lead integrator for our drone fleet is obviously very understanding and into how the drone autopilot is powered and how the updates are done. And but what he's told me is that while PX4 is great, the community is great, they make code changes. There's sort of a lag in testing that new code, that finished code, to make sure there's no bugs and it works the way it's supposed to.
Right.
So that was the biggest calling that we had was, look, and that's what Ramon asked me to do, is to go tell the community what you all need to help you with support. And that was the biggest thing, is that once these changes are made, we need those changes to be tested so that we don't have to test it ourselves and we can move even quicker.
And rapidly deployed, right?
Right.
So there's a whole bunch of companies upstairs that do that, by the way. There's going to be some commingling here because we were wandering around up there a little bit. It's the Open Source Summit, the larger group.
Right.
Like IBM Red Hat's up there. I mean, just as one example. So lots of really cool companies up there. But well, thank you so much for taking the time, Mike. Appreciate you. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so sounds great. And we're going to end it here with my co-host.
Hey, how's it going?
So things are going good, Mike. It looks like we might be, as usual, because, hotel internet. For those out there that if this has been cutting out, we apologize, but we're doing what we can. See some folks clapping and innovative drone solutions saying that they wish they could have made too. My buddy Mark LaCour, who I just met in Houston this week, is saying hello. Also from Houston, we've got folks coming in from across the world.
That is.
So absolutely. And question was, is it compatible with Mavic 3? If yes, what's the price? Oh, I bet that was probably a question for Modal AI.
It probably not, I would assume.
I'm not sure, but
you could find Chad.
Oh, I'm seeing in Ramon is behind the scenes, like shaking his head. As you're asking, is that Modal AI compatible with the Mavic 3? And the answer is no. And Chris Wedgeworth, our buddy, is out there. And we got some folks on LinkedIn giving us clapping emojis.
So you're having a good time, Tom?
I'm having a great time, honestly. This has been really unique, like I said. And I'm really glad I diverted from Houston before heading back to Colorado.
Taking the tour this week.
I got to see Buc-ee's, which I guess is a Texas place to go. So how's it going for you, Mike? You're helping.
Well, I'm doing working with my friend Ramon, who actually that's really where our friendship got solidified. It was an amazing invitation. And that event really kind of kickstarted my understanding of what the open source drone community actually means for the industry. And it really is the place where all good ideas get started. All the good ideas actually are able to go into these actual business use cases that the business leaders on our other podcasts. So I just love hanging out with developers. They've got the best vibe. They're real. they're definitely up front. Um, because time to actually, go through and get this stuff done, do the hard work that makes this amazing technology feel magical to the point where we could have drone show that we had last night.
Oh, the best swag. So it's the Drone Code Foundation stickers. There's more stickers here than Okay, so this is like their amazing. Look at this. When I say the swag here, but home with a boatload of stuff, and it's
Coders always have best swag. Tech conferences definitely have the best swag. Make it like even if you don't have a good, nice mug like pretty amazing on brand color or whatever, but that's a hard deal to get order products at. But at minimum, you're tech conference. But the best people, right?
For sure.
People brings value to being in person.
Yeah.
We're happy to connect with you guys here online and ladies online, but so we're gonna see you here.
I was just gonna say
there's
that.
Gonna be nobody watching the stream next year because all 80.
Yeah, let's put it this way: if the folks from the United to get here, my thinking is you can too, because it's not probably gonna take you. Totally worth it. Just amazing. Maggie, I don't know where Maggie went to. I kind of have her on this as well. But Maggie's been my partner. Maggie Schuster's been my partner in crime all week. We were just talking last night, like so many of these, we should start our own list, like, who's got the best food and who's got the best swag. So far this swag, the vibe is incredible. Party.
They were out until like 1 a.m.
I know. I
think nerds are the best of us.
Work hard, play hard. That's all I'm saying.
Gotta look at that comment.
There you go. Work hard, play hard. So maybe like the couple minutes we have left. Do you want to tell everybody a little bit just before we dial off? Kind of what we're doing with the crew.
With Chris Cornati.
Yeah, Air and Chris Cornati from Mission Go. So the full crew is our news. Aren't subscribed to that? You should. It's fullcrew.io. You'll get notifications every Monday, 9 a.m. Eastern. And we're from the headlines. Really, it's our guests that are picking what they want to talk about, and everything from baristas to drones being used to lure orcas with acoustical sounds out of a river, into the ocean.
To job cuts in tech, to industry trends in the drone industry. We've been very fortunate to have amazing, and then we have our Twitter Spaces coming up this week, with return guests. So we've got General James Pastu's coming back for Twitter Spaces. So this will be the first time you're ever going to hear a general anywhere from the United States military on Twitter Spaces.
Not only that,
ground here.
He's a former intel. Couldn't even sign up for Clubhouse. So I'm just saying the fact that he's going to Spaces is a big deal. So Major General Pod, Danielle Gagne, storyteller for Vlad. And so we'll be talking about, all the looking at this month, but also a couple things that they're going to table. So join us there. And Dawn of Drones next week, round out. A new month. We are. No, we're. And we're going to have Julie from Avtrain. She's from Ireland. And oh my gosh, on Clubhouse yesterday. I could not keep up with this woman. Okay, quick. Started out in aircraft maintenance, then became a commercial airline pilot for 10 years. Did drone safety. Went to China for a couple of years working in investments in drones. Came back to Ireland, started Avtrain, and they are the leaders in beyond visual line of sight in Ireland. And not only that, started up a second company, Vertex, for advanced air mobility training. So if your mind isn't blown just listening to that right now, I don't know what can blow your mind. So you should totally join us Dawn of Drones live every Wednesday, 9 a.m. Mountain, 11 a.m. Eastern on Drone Life TV on YouTube. So check out our sister platform there, and the crew and the Tilt Tech Industry
Wednesday.
Monday, Tuesday,
Same
Wednesday,
time every
Thursday
day.
Clubhouse every week for us. So anyway, all right.
Yeah, yeah.
What do you think?
We're gonna say out here.
All right. See ya.